At this former hospital, employees were expected to keep caring for patients, even while their employer could no longer reliably pay them. Ellwood City Medical Center had served this western Pennsylvania community for more than a century, standing as the town's only hospital. In 2017, a Florida-based healthcare company purchased the facility, and staff soon began receiving delayed, partial, and even bounced paychecks. By the end of 2019, the medical center was collapsing inside and out. The state barred the facility from admitting patients and shut down its emergency room over serious violations. Within 2 weeks, every remaining clinical service had permanently stopped. On January 30th, 2020, FBI agents arrived and carried boxes of records out of the building as part of a federal investigation into the hospital's finances. Today, operating rooms, medical equipment, and patient wards throughout the building sit abandoned. The remains of a hospital built to care for its community, but one that betrayed the people keeping it alive. Let's explore.
It's about 7:30 a.m., and it's finally bright enough for us to start walking around this abandoned hospital. We got in here over 2 hours ago, and we've just been hanging out in this little conference room while we've been waiting for it to brighten up. Kyle's out here already taking a look and getting some pictures. We're on the 3rd floor right now, which is pretty much patient rooms for the most part, but we do know that there's a lab up here that apparently we have to find. That's worth it. But this is just so cool. Are you taking a long exposure?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's not quite bright enough to see every detail in here without light, but this is quite a start. All I have to do is just pan this way and you guys will see the first example of how amazing this place is. So let's explore. Coming out of this patient room, we get a much better view of this little administration section here. I was kind of hoping the power would be on, as it's been on for other explorers, but unfortunately not.
Nope.
Nothing?
No power.
Dang it.
Hello? Is it working?
Looks like the mattress was taken off of this bed. Oh, it's right there on the ground. You can really see how bright it's getting. I'm going to shut my light off and come towards the window. You can see the sun just coming up over the houses over there. Beautiful. Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was not expecting.
No.
I opened up a closet.
Even just spinning around. That's the IV hooks for the drip. Scanners. That's crazy.
It says the login names.
We could log into the old accounts.
Could.
Nuts. There's just so much stuff. Alright, for the first time, we're really heading out into a central hallway. More patient rooms. I have a feeling the top floors are going to be very repetitive in that manner. Medical glasses, no smoking, or open flame. Oh, this is cool. I think this is one of those body boards here for transporting, well, bodies, injured people. This is crazy. There's so much stuff left behind. Oh, it's beautiful. There's two really nice patient rooms here, 323 and 324. The bed is raised on this one. It's a weird look. I do like all the paintings and the art in the back though. Gives it a bit of a style. And then same thing over here. But yet again, another beautiful painting. Makes up for the blandness of the room. Kyle's in the family waiting room. What are you waiting for? Oh, wow. This is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. I was pointing out the pictures in the other room because I think that these are the only things that are differentiating this from just like a really sad, depressing looking building.
Yeah.
It's
See
so
all the
bland.
stickers, though? Almost everything in here has a sticker on it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Even the font over here has one. I don't know what that is.
UPMC HRZ JAM initials LM.
29.
There's more over here too. Yeah, they're all tagged exactly the same. Another one. Another one. And another one. Almost makes you think auction, but I don't know if they're auctioning off items in here though. How are we looking out there?
So far, so good.
Okay.
It's gonna occasionally.
Take a little peek.
Oh, careful. You got lights on.
We're going to head down to the other side of this floor because, as we said earlier, it's very repetitive. I think the floor below us is probably going to be pretty similar, but we are looking for certain areas like the lab room that we've been told is really cool, and I haven't seen a picture of it yet, so should be pretty surprised when we pop into there. And just you guys wait until we get to the operating rooms because that is by far the gold in this place. This is a conference room. Oh wow. What's going on the back wall over here? The nurse. Nurses are gifted, or nurses are a gifted balance of intelligence, caring, and skill. These patient rooms are getting a little nicer as we're going along. No need to duck into all of them, but you can see a big difference in which ones are set up with paintings and full of life, or as much life as you can have in an abandoned hospital. And the other ones are just kind of wrecked. There's 2 beds in here. Haven't seen that yet. Huh. I want to see it from this perspective. This is a cool look. Looks like there's another nurse's station to our left. This one's just full of empty chairs though. And if I spin to my right, we have another patient room. Not worth stepping into though. And now we'll go all the way around. This is actually kind of cool with all the phones set up there. But once again, we'll keep going. Squeeze through here. Wow. What a weird place. Repetitive patient rooms. And that's going to pretty much be the end of the hallway. We'll spin around. See that last little part on the other side? Probably skip most of it because it's going to be repetitive. And then we'll get ready to head down to the next floor. Let's go down this last little part here and just make sure we didn't miss anything in any of these rooms. And actually, on cue, we would have missed this. An exam table with a pressure reader here. across the way, what do you know? More patient rooms. There's plenty of them here. And then this is just a straight shot back down where we came. Oh, a little office. Oh, this is so cool. The laptop there. It looks like they just packed up their stuff and just decided to leave immediately. Look at this. These are all personal belongings. Like someone just left all this stuff here. Teacups from earlier on in the day. They're gonna go volunteer. Let's see how similar it is to the third floor. Because remember, we're going top down. This is the solarium. It says on the door. The ground is covered in what I believe is fire extinguisher. That's a bit of a shame. Let's see what's through this door. Just a long hallway. Okay, this floor definitely looks more abandoned than the first, or the third, I should say. This is probably a conference room. More trashed. I think it's absolutely hilarious that we just ran into other people inside of the lab, and I didn't even recognize at first what this was. There's quite a bit to this lab, so we're just gonna kind of walk along. I don't think it's really worth me trying to explain anything, especially things that I just don't understand. Like this thing. What is this? No idea. And then same thing over here. Bunch of test tubes. This probably would have been for blood. Actually, what is that? BD vacuum cleaner. Oh, urine. I mean, that doesn't look like urine, but I'm not going to touch that anymore. Let's see what's over here. First of all, that eye wash station is nuts. Look at this. This is taking me back to 8th grade science class just on steroids. The speaker is crazy. Wow. You just turn around and see something new. There's that much stuff in here. There's liquid in here of some sorts. Microbiology. Huh. I don't know much about microbiology, but I do know that this is all pretty cool. Wow. It's like a playground in here. Look at this thing. Safeguard. Biological safety cabinet operation. Startup. Turn the fluorescent on. Check the grills for obstructions. Turn the blower on. Allow cabinet to operate for 15 minutes. Work techniques. Keep all magnets at least 4 inches inside of the sash. Separate the clean and contaminated materials in the work area. Caution. Avoid direct exposure of eyes and skin. Still don't know what this does, but this is insane. Oh, here's the pathologist room. The office. Precursor for the morgue and autopsy room that we'll see later. Probably lots of information on dead bodies in here. Quite literally. Huh. Here's more of those stickers. Again, wonder if they're auctioning anything off in here. Nothing too telling here, so we'll move on, but this is the pathologist room. What's this? Keep door closed. Oh, I almost missed it. Bunch of supplies to my right. And then looks like another lab. Huh. Wow, that looks so cool. What is that?
I actually really like this one because most of the shades are out.
I know. There's that. The lab. And here's the outpatient lab.
This is what I've seen across.
Wow. Look at that. Dang. It's pretty liminal in here. What are these chairs? Must be a little waiting room here. It's actually pretty nice. But I want to turn and get another view of this room. That is insane. Alright guys, so after that top floor and this second floor, it's finally time to head downstairs, thank you Kyle, and check out the first floor, which we're not sure if that's going to be x-rays or surgical rooms or anything like that. We're really not sure. Top floor was the patient rooms, and then this was more laboratories and offices. So I guess there's only one thing to do, and that's literally to explore. Looks like, yeah, that's a massive corridor down there. We did not go this way yet. It does say, actually, nuclear medicine and image services down there. So maybe we try this first in hopes of x-rays and stuff like that. Locked. Electrical equipment. Nothing in there that we need. And then how about over here? Registration. Looks like this is more or less the front. But it did say nuclear medicine and everything is down here, so let's just see what we can see. Well, I think I'm in the right place. Alright, I think this is going to be x-rays and MRI. Haven't walked in here yet. X-ray it is. Wow. Look at that. It's still in such great shape. Just like everything else in here. But wow, the cabinets are still stocked. What is this? That's insane. So, x-ray number 1. This would probably be... Well, maybe just the control room, I guess you could say. Or the little reception. This is another x-ray room, but they got rid of the table and the machine itself. Yeah, room 3. Here's an opposing view of where we just walked in from. The first room was off to our left down there. There's some offices across the way.
There's another x-ray in here.
There's another one in there?
Yeah.
Awesome. Looks like there may have been one in here, actually, but there's no booth like on the side to control the machine like where the nurses would stand, so they're not being exposed to radiation. X-ray 1. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Right?
That is insane. Another huge wheelchair. Try not to trip on this. And then this says door must be closed during the exams. So maybe this was like a central, I keep saying control room, but control room for the x-rays, and they didn't just have the little sections that they would stand behind. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen these before. Not in an abandoned hospital. Anything in here, or is that just a bathroom? Bathroom. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Rooms on the other side too.
X-ray rooms?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think it's an emergency room.
I wonder if this was the exposure room. Yes, it was. So the way this would work is when you would open this. Dang it. But the lights would turn off when you would open that, like in the room.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. I've seen some where they actually work. Locker room. Nurse's station. A really nice office. Look at that. Very colorful. All the belongings just left behind. And then another office with a really big monitor on it. Look at that. This is crazy. One of the most wild radiology departments I've ever seen inside of an abandoned medical facility. This is crazy. Then I think, yeah, that just goes back out. Well, what did I just stumble upon? Treatment room. Huh. This looks like the emergency room. But why are they calling it treatment rooms? I mean, look at this. This has to be the emergency room. But they just say treatment rooms. Here's the nurse's station. And yeah. Wow. We'll step into this one. That's where they would have hung all the fluids and everything. And these lights are actually pretty old. There's more stickers on here, so they may actually be auctioning most of this stuff off at some point. But yeah, there's like at least 20 of these rooms or something like that. We're only going to go through a couple of them just to get an idea of what this looks like. But wow. There's another one. There's some more across the way. Wow. Holy shit. Look at those surgical lights. That is crazy. Oh my God. Look at this for the eye test. That was definitely set up there. But look at this. Oh my God. It's so funny. I literally just stumbled upon what I believe is the emergency room here. Treatment room 1. Wow. Now that is incredible. That is incredible. To confirm what I just said a second ago, this is the emergency room. So we'll get one more look at it from this perspective. Here's the triage station. And then we'll go behind, get a view of the nurse's station here. Wow. And just one more look at this room here. Insane. On this end, we have the nurse manager's office. And behind me is an environmental closet. Straight ahead is the physician's office. And a locker room behind here. Huh. That's nuts. Well, there's your physician, Steven. You saw someone running by?
Yeah, good job. This door is kind of open, like that much.
That is the front entrance.
See, on the right side it's open.
Yeah. Alright. We'll stay away from there. Yeah, I didn't go over here yet. Nuclear medicine.
Yeah. I walked a bit in here.
Huh.
There definitely used to be a lot more x-rays too.
Yeah.
I've seen at least 4 other rooms that
Wow, that's cool.
were good.
Would this not be where the MRIs would be?
I would think so.
I might have it backwards. Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright. So, there's the CAT scan. They did take out that machine. Huh. That kind of stinks. What is this? Oh, that looked like there was something there. The controls, I guess. The electric panels. For the CAT scanners. Ultrasound. See if that's left. Little office in here. Huh. Okay, so they have run through this floor more than the others. Waiting room. It's a nice little waiting room. Reminds me of a funeral home. And again with the pictures, giving this place personality. X-ray 2. Have we been in here? Yeah. That one is empty. And this is good because now we're circling around. Dressing rooms. We already went in X-ray 1. Bone densitometry. Densitometry. I did not say that right. And then I think there's something here. This equipment produces radiation when energized. Let's not touch that. What a great dead end. And then, what's this? Office, conference room. Actually, that went right back in to the x-rays. And then this probably goes back out into the main hallway. So I think now we've done a full, now we've done a full loop through here. Kyle's back there. Saw pretty much everything in there. The only thing that I cannot place my mind around is the MRI machines. The CAT scan machines are removed, but other than that, still looking for those MRIs. Cardiovascular department. Little waiting area here. I see some hospital beds back there. An office of some sorts in there, or a dressing room. And then this big area with a bed. Cardiovascular. Pain management vein center. Waiting room. Ooh. What? What? Huh. I just walked in on this. There's even a light board in the back for the x-rays. This is insane.
You ready to see it?
Ready to see what?
The best part of this whole place.
Why don't you show me?
Oops. Who did that?
Who did that? Best part of the whole place? Oh. Oh my God. Oh.
The lights, the tools, the skeleton. It just makes it.
Dude. It's just crazy how everything is left in here. All the surgical tools, all the tools on the shelves to have any kind of surgery. They're a little bare, but that's because everything is just stored away. And the supply cabinets, and this skeleton is just the staple. I mean, I've waited well over a year to see this, and this does not disappoint at all. I was thinking about making this the chair of the episode, but I've done another hospital that has a similar chair, and I made that one the chair of the episode. So I figured maybe a obnoxious looking wheelchair may be better. And so, yeah, this is the main surgical room. I'll come around and show the back really quick of the lights. We were saying earlier that some of those lights didn't seem super modern. Well, These ones definitely do. I mean, come on. Turning behind me, the last thing I want to check out in the surgical suite is, well, I guess you could say, the scrubs. I just walked back here just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and these are here, worth seeing for sure. And then behind me, we have an autoclave, it looks like here. Pretty small one, honestly, probably just for the surgical tools. And then, I'm not really sure what this is. Sterilant concentrate. Huh. Risk of explosion. Right, for as much as I literally like to sit there and stare at that all day, we have to keep moving. This, again, was the other operating room with those pretty modern looking lights again. Absolutely beautiful. And then all those trays in there and the carts. And then we'll come into this section. There's the storage in there that we saw. And then I guess that might be it for the operating rooms. Nope. Here's the other one, or the third one. Full designated operating rooms. Older light, older monitors, but still all tagged up. They're definitely selling this stuff off. Oh, I thought these were actual surgical tools. These are just for the IV drips. But here's the back of the light. Different brand as well. Huh. Been in so many hospitals, I'm noticing the difference in brands between the lights. That's insane. And yeah. Anything through here that we need to see? Well, a bunch of containers. And an office. And a lab. But nothing that we need to spend more than 3 seconds in. So let's keep her going. I was just about to say I lost Kyle, but he's right here. What's this?
I think you're gonna like this room.
Another cool room? What the heck is this? Ooh. Ooh.
Right?
What? What is this?
I honestly don't even know.
Look at all the devices behind us.
They're all numbered.
I think that they're selling these, dude.
I think so too.
It looks like an auction of some sorts. What's through here? More monitors. Wow. There's just endless amounts of equipment. I think it's crazy that even though it was dark this morning, like really dark when we came in, we really didn't see anything, like
Well, we
at
didn't
all.
even look around either.
Well, we kind of did. We went through like the 2 parts of the 1 floor, and we only walked through the hallway really. But this is crazy. It took us like 3 hours to actually see anything.
Yeah.
And look at all the straps on the tables. They're not restraints, and these aren't surgical tables. Almost looks like physical therapy or something.
Maybe?
Not sure.
Especially with this one here.
What did it say on the door?
PACU or something like that?
Huh.
Physical
PACU. I've seen that before. No idea what it means.
PA.
CU.
I don't know.
To the house. Okay, guys, I could be very, very wrong on this, but this is the sleep center. My idea, and Kyle, you're going to want to hear this. I think that they were surveilling people sleeping.
Yeah, they did sleep studies.
Yep.
That would make sense.
So they'd watch them
Just
right in
one.
there. I guess they'd probably listen to them too. With a microphone? That's definitely what that was.
Oh, there's another one right here.
Is there?
Yeah.
Camera and all?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not much in here.
No. It's like a minimalist
It's like a
experiment. Yeah. Huh. And there's an exit there.
I kind of wish I kept the light on. It's cold in here.
It is cold down here. This is the basement, is it not?
Oh my god, the kitchen.
Holy shit.
I've never seen a kitchen.
Oh. Holy shit. This is insane.
Speechless.
I'm gonna squeeze by you. Holy crap.
Oh, the tray.
Look at that. Dude. That is insane. I think these are all like coffee pots or something right here. Holy shit. Yeah. Wow. Some stuff for mixing and baking. The grills and cheese graters. Freezers. Wow. It's so shiny in here. Holy shit. So I bet that means the cafeteria / cafe, mess hall, whatever you want to call it, is in here. I mean, I'm sure this was not the main mess hall. This is probably a doctor's lounge or a nurse's lounge or something like that. Wow. Kyle, come look at this. Holy moly. Whoa. It's a conference room, but it's like really nice. Look at the flag in the corner. I gotta watch where I'm stepping. Someone smashed all these glasses, it looks like. What a shame. Guys, this is a small goblet. What the hell? Exam rooms. Interesting. Wow.
Every single vag speck.
Dude, we could literally perform a surgery. Like,
Specimen.
what the hell is this?
1,000 LR.
It's in 1,000 LR.
Sexual assault kits.
That's crazy. Surgical suite. We've seen quite a few of these already. Curious what's going to be back here. I don't know if this is potentially keyword for morgue and autopsy room, but we'll see. That's definitely a surgical room. An old one. Wow, they removed everything. None of that is original. That was cystology.
Which way do we go?
This way.
Just it's endless. Looks like they're trying to clean up this section.
Yeah. Laundry.
Ooh, this one's a lot.
Okay, wait. This might be it. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Look at this. I saw pathology and knew right away.
God, it smells so bad.
I know. Oh, that's so beautiful. I've seen this picture so many times.